Hello, I know I have been off for a very long time, and this video is sort of connecting to that because I realized recently that I have a really weird problem where I'm always needing to be perfect in everything that I do. Like any amount of effort I put into it doesn't matter as long as it doesn't come out perfect. I'm going to trash it. If I had $1 for every time I trashed a fully edited video, I'd literally be a millionaire by now. That's how problematic my perfectionism is. And recently I just sat down and I was trying to figure out why am I not able to do anything without it being perfect when other people are easily putting out content that's not perfect and they're still getting views and they're still making it work. But it's an impossible standard to keep for yourself, that you have to be as perfect as somebody who has like 1 million subscribers or 10 million subscribers, because you're just starting out. They have made it there through organic growth, and they have learned a lot of stuff that makes their videos so perfect. If I expect myself to be able to make such a perfect video on the first go, I will never be able to put out content in my entire life. Like every single time I make a video and then I'm like, the lighting is not fine, the camera is not focused, or I sound really robotic, which I did. I mean, every time I started and stopped making videos was because my voice sounded robotic, and I plan it out in my head and I write a script and everything, but when it comes down to actually talking in front of the camera, my voice completely becomes like a robot. And I really don't like talking like that, because I don't talk like that in real life. I talk like a normal person with a lot of intonations, and even everything was so exaggerated in my videos. I'm like, bro, who is she? I don't recognize her. She's extremely foreign to me. Like, I used to look back on my videos and it was as if a second person that's not me was talking on the video, because I don't talk like that. Like, all of my friends know that. Nobody talks like that. That's really robotic and dramatic and shit. I mean, no more dramatic than my actual life, because I'm an extremely dramatic person. My face literally has subtitles all day long. So I'm a very dramatic person in general. But the kind of drama that was coming on camera was not me. That was someone else. That was a YouTube monster taking over my body. So anytime I switched off the camera, I'm like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel, which was like, I'm like, I sound like everybody else. Why should someone watch my video? Which makes sense, because if there's no personality and everybody is making the same kind of videos, there's no point in having to watch different YouTubers, right? The point of having different creators is that there's different personalities and we can watch the person that most relates to us. And my personality is so exotic. I am the most hilarious person that I have met in my entire life. I don't care who argues about it. I am hilarious according to me, okay? And I have really, really witty comebacks to stuff, and also a lot of sarcasm, and I have a personality, and that was just getting completely deleted on camera. I don't like that. So every time I watch back my videos, I'm like, I'm never making videos again, because if this is how I sound on camera, that's not the intention I'm going for. Then I thought, if I'm having so many problems with just filming a video and editing it and putting it out into the world, how much of a problem should I actually have? Because it's not that deep. It's just a video of you talking. Why does it have to be so serious? And then I realized I have a chronic perfectionism disease. Okay. And any time that I have to do anything, not just filming, it can be like working out, or it can be schoolwork. It just has to be perfect on the first go, or I'm not doing it at all. like I lose motivation for it instantly. Like it has to be right the first time, or else you can fuck off. I'm not doing that. And I realized that this definitely cannot be a surface level problem. This has to be some other deep rooted issue that has to be solved in order to, like, be able to do anything in life, because I'm not wasting my life waiting for something to be perfect to put it out. But without solving that problem, I will never be able to do it. So when I sat down and I thought it out and I journaled and shit, I realized that when I was a young girl, I thought of myself, I mean, even still I do, but I thought of myself as extremely special and this gifted child, and I would always, do something with my life, something really extravagant, and like I would become rich and famous. And at that point in time, being rich and famous, or like coming on TV, was the epitome of success for me, right? So anytime I saw any celebrities on TV or on the news or something like that, I would be like, this is going to be me someday. This is going to be who I am. I'm going to come on TV. I'm going to do something really big with my life. And that sort of became like a promise to myself that I'm going to be rich and famous, because that was the metric for success in my head at that time, and for a very long time after that. In fact, even now I sort of think that being rich and famous is sort of a metric for success, because how else would you measure success, right? But the problem with this is that anytime I sat to do anything that involved my career or any money, even just thinking about money made me anxious, because if I don't do it right, I will not be rich and famous. And that brought on, like, everything has to be perfect, it has to go on well, it has to work out for me. And I just held on to this idea of perfectionism, because in my head, if you're perfect, it has to work out, right? Because if you're doing everything right, what can go wrong? It most obviously can, because there's so much of a luck factor involved. A person putting 110% of his life into something might not get what he wants, but a person who hadn't worked so hard probably gets that success. It does depend on luck. So whatever it was not working out for me, and it sort of, I had to sit down and I had to think of, why do I think like this? Why do I think that being rich and wealthy is the only form of success that I can find? Because success depends on how you look at it. It's not just if everybody knows your name, you're successful. You could be successful and no one might know your name. You might be rich but not famous, or you might be famous but actually absolutely broke in your life. So it doesn't matter with what you do with your career, as long as you're happy in your life. And this sort of promise that I made to myself at such a young age became such a huge part of my personality, that everything I did had an impact of that promise. And I had to sit down and think about, what would success mean to me right now? Like, what would it mean? Is it worth the gamble for me to wait for perfection, or actually get on doing with what I actually want to do, which is make content and do all of those things? It's not just about content creation, it's about everything in my life that I want to do, that I wait for perfection until I actually even just start doing something. Even job applications, I'm like, if I don't have 100% of the skills that is listed on the job description, I'm not going to apply for it. Which is crazy. That's crazy. Nobody has 100% of all the qualifications that some recruiter asks for. You are going to have to learn it on the way. And it's so hard to change the way that you think on the go. Like, you have to make yourself understand that this is not it. You can be imperfect. You are human being. You are imperfect, you are going to have flaws, you are going to have shortcomings, and you're going to have to make do with it. You cannot be an all perfect human being. That would not make you a human being at all. That would make you a robot or like God, which is an impossible standard to meet. So I thought, you know what, let's just get on with it. And no matter how this video looks, I'm still gonna post it, and I'm still going to make content. And since I was having a really creative block in my room, I just came up to this room and I'm making content here. And I really hope to God that I don't fall into the trap of perfectionism again, and I keep making the content that I love so much. I love talking. This is literally my entire life. I keep talking, even in front of the camera, off the camera, anywhere. I just keep talking all the time. So if I can get my, weird, funky ideas into the world and somebody connects, like what's, what is that? More exciting than that? For people, probably not now, but in a few years, hopefully, I can have a reach around the world and someone just feels like, oh my god, this girl is literally my twin. And I want to make content for such people who would connect to how I feel, and they're like, oh my god, I feel this too, but I was not able to say it, and she has, and create that kind of comfort zone for somebody through my content. That could happen if I actually made content. But if I fell behind perfectionism, my voice would never go out there, and nobody would ever get to see what kind of thoughts I have in my head. I mean, obviously my close circle does, but because I don't shut up about it. But otherwise, the people who are not really personally in touch with me would never be able to know that a person out there somewhere feels exactly like they do, and there's somebody they can connect with. I hope that some of you might find some sort of connection through this video, and I really hope that you find a comfort space in any of my videos, and I really hope that you do come back for more content from my side, because I love doing this, and I'm going to do it for myself and for everybody who wants to listen to me jabber on forever. So I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, have a great day and the rest of your week. Bye bye.